Cloudcast Media. Drew Schlosberg Spotlight on the Community Show, amplifying the voices of social impact organizations, entrepreneurs, local nonprofits, and other community champions who shape the culture, creativity, and connectivity of San Diego. Brought to you by Mission Fed Credit Union, bringing good things to San Diego for over 60 years. Learn more about what is good for you and good for all by visiting www.missionfed.com.
I'm Drew Schlosberg of Cloudcast Media. Always fun when my former school is represented in the studio. And yours too, Kristen. That's right, exactly. SDSU School of Music and Dance. Joining us is Jessica Humphrey, professor of dance for SDSU School of Music and Dance. How you doing, Jessica?
I'm great, thank you.
How long have you been involved with SDSU?
I started in 2009, dancing in the choreography of Professor Leslie Siders.
Okay, very, very good. And so you started getting interested in dance when you were 1, 2? How old were you?
No, I actually started late. I started with gymnastics growing up.
Really? Okay.
I think I was probably dancing before then for sure, but I started officially with gymnastics. And then I didn't start dancing until I was in community college. I was actually transferring to USC to study print journalism. And I took my first dance class at the community college and was like, okay, I'm doing something different. That's what I was meant to do.
So, yeah, SC for print journalism. Okay. Despite the fact that my father taught medicine at UCLA, where you can still be friends in this. So, did you practice as a journalist when you got out of SC?
No, I actually never transferred. I ended up changing my course of study.
Oh, did you? Okay.
To study dance, yeah.
Right. And you got two cool students with you here. We have Julia Elbert, undergrad. She's. We're going to talk about the performance that her and her colleague Devin are in. But you're also a JMS student, right?
Yes, I am.
So I taught journalism at San Diego State way before your grandparents were born. And was honored to really work with that school. When I was working for the Union Tribune. How do you like being a JMS student?
I love being a JMS student. Being dance and JMS, I'm part of PSFA, the Professional Studies and Fine Arts College.
You are.
So it's just all kind of integrated, and being a part of that is really interesting, and I love being in all the classes.
Yeah, no, I think that's fantastic. And Devin Hargrett, also an undergrad senior and part of this SDSU School of Music and Dance. But you're a dance education student, is that correct?
Yes, I am.
Is that a new major? Is that a new course of study?
Yes, actually, it's something very brand new that we have at SDSU. With intern with the School of Education, and it's just something so I can get my teaching credential and be a K through 12 public school teacher.
Thank you for doing that. My daughter is a 4th grade teacher at Chaparral Elementary in the Poway School District. What's your interest in being a teacher? Why?
That's actually really interesting. It kind of changed, but my interest in it now is just because I love making a difference in people's lives. I love teaching them new things. I'm also a resident advisor on campus, and so with that job, it kind of teaches me how to communicate, how to help people go through problems without giving them the answers and things like that. Just getting them to be their own successful people and individuals.
Great. I'm joined by my co-host, Kristen Fogel. This is right up her alley. Kristen is the executive director of San Diego Writers, Inc. She's involved in performances and everything in between. And I know this is a great interest of yours, is it not?
Yeah, absolutely. I have a side question, I guess. Was dance once housed under theater, or has it always been under music and all of that?
That's a great question. I don't have all the details of the beginnings.
Yeah.
But it was in the 1970s, and my understanding is that it was actually part of physical education first.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
And so it's more common now in universities that it's paired with theater, a little less common that it's paired with dance.
Gotcha. Very cool. Jessica, maybe since you have the mic right now, maybe can you talk about this thinking with your whole body thing that dance encompasses?
Yeah, I'd love to. So one of the big kind of sub-studies that we do in dance, it infiltrates most of our classes, is from the field of somatics. And somatics is, my teacher, Bonnie Bainbridge Cohen, defines it as the study of the human body from the first-person experiential perspective. And in the opening of one of her books, Sensing, Feeling, and Action, there's a quote from Susan Aposhian where she says that Bonnie's taught us, or this field of somatics, and in this particular form, body-mind centering, has taught us to become so aware of all of the parts of our body that we become aware with our body. So it begins by directing our attention to different places in our body and being with that place, and then being able to have more agency with that place in your body. There's also something called 4E cognition that involves embodied, embedded, enacted, and I always forget the fourth. Embodied, embedded, acted. I forget the fourth one. Forgive me, but it's the cognitive scientists are understanding that we don't just think like a computer in our heads. That we're always in a relationship. That even leaning over here to get to the mic is going to affect what I say, how I say it. Being between the two of them, being across from you.
Yeah.
And so we study that. We have to slow down to study that. And we have to be in relationship to study that. And we also understand that how thinking happens through movement in groups.
Yeah.
Which is always happening, even when it's not movement in groups.
Yeah.
If a group is not moving, a different kind of thinking will happen.
I think it's so fascinating. Like you, Drew, like I was a vocal major for a while. I really appreciate, music and everything like that. But dance is so hard for me. Like I just don't think like this. And I think it's so fascinating. Have you taken a dance class, Drew?
I'm the world's worst, but I will tell you this: I won a twist contest.
What?
When I was 8. Now,
nice.
Devin and Julia are gonna have to Google twist. Okay, to see.
I know twist.
Of course.
You all. I just have to add something for Devin.
Oh, Devin's a twist
from earlier.
expert?
Yes,
Okay.
and like I totally agree with your answer for why you want to be an educator, but I also just have to shout out,
please,
Devin. Devin knows how to move the energy in a room. And that is huge, right? And he also feeds off his ability to move the energy in a room. And so that's why he's going to be a great teacher.
Well, I think that's great. So we'll start with you on this, Devin. We're going to be on this twist thing for a little bit over here. I was so proud. The only
I'm proud of you.
Yeah, well, listen, I think they felt sorry for me because everybody else was like, 25 years older than me. So when did you first learn about the twist? How did you, just because you like dance, obviously. Talk about that.
I love dance. I love all types of dance. I do anything. I can do anything. I'm very good at picking up choreography or just picking up like movement and energy from other people and kind of just putting that into myself. So yeah, I can do the twist. I can a little foxtrot, not a lot, just a little.
Oh, beautiful.
Salsa, bachata, West African, one of the courses we take on campus. So I do a lot.
Can you do the pata pata?
Don't know what that is.
Yeah, I only did that once, and I couldn't tell you that. So, Julia, how about you? Do you know the twist?
I think I know the twist.
Yeah,
it's real easy.
You go. You got it. You got it. Pretty much chubby checker and all that business and all that. I happen to, dance is tough, and for 87,000 different reasons in this area. I want to go back to you, Jessica, when you talked about thinking with your whole body. How do you teach somebody this? I mean, what is it? What goes into that type of teaching, and then we can ask both Devin and to Julia to see how they involved in this aspect.
Yeah, thank you for this question.
You're welcome.
I'm just thinking about what a day in the life is like for me. I'm thinking about my Tuesdays right now. I have a class called Body Modalities, which is centered around this kind of honing this skill.
Right.
And I walk in, I've got 45 beautiful human beings. We line our phones up on where the mirror meets the floor. We kind of text someone we love and sort of create a conscious differentiation from our devices. I have to pick the right music, and then they walk in and there's a different energy, and I have to read that. And what's the next thing sound-wise? They're responsible to come out into the space, tap into their bodies, slow down. And we're even in dance, but in the world in general, we're taught to throw our body orders. I got to do this. I got to do that. You got to get over here. I got to get over there. And even dancers, you have to look exactly this way. And we ask them then do something that's more bottom up. That's a more top down way of approaching the body. So we ask them to just pause and be like, if my body made the decision right now, would I lay on the floor? Would I run around? Right. So starting with that kind of openness. And then it involves prompts that really ask them to use their imagination. So we would do something like, where is your head in your awareness of it? Where does your head start and your spine begin? You all could just do it right now. Point, where does your head start and your spine begin on your own body? Right? Yeah. And then we would, yeah. And so we see like
did I pass?
Did we pass? Did we do okay?
It was a little fast, but I think you were pretty close.
Point well taken.
So we would do something like that, and then we would say your tail. Where's the end of your spine? Where's that? And can you have a conversation between your head and tail? And what kind of movement would that create? And then we would get out a skeleton, and we'd look at the anatomy.
Interesting.
And we'd map it, and we'd see, wow, my perception of where my head started was an inch or two off of where skeletally skull is. And so we like to say we're playing with anatomical fact and anatomical fantasy, right? We look at what's happening in the anatomy and then we play with it as artists.
No, that's great. When we come back from break, I want to get a perspective from Julia and Devin on that as well. But when I really get knee deep in the spring dance concert, when is it? Where is it? What role Devin is going to play? What role Julia is going to play? What are you involved in that as well? When we come back with our friends from the SDSU School of Music and Dance, Jessica Humphrey, professor of dance. We got Julia Elbert, undergrad senior, that is involved in this school, plus a JMS student. Yay, Aztecs, and journalism and media studies. And Devin Hargrett, undergrad senior, SDSU dance education student, soon to be one of San Diego's finest educators in the K-12 space. I will guarantee you that is going to happen. Joined by my co-host, Kristen Vogel. She's the executive director of San Diego Writers, Inc. We will be right back.
When you do your banking with Mission Fed, you get great rates on auto and home loans. That's good for you, but something good also happens for a lot of other people. We're not for profit, so we put money back into the community to help lots of great nonprofits to keep San Diego strong. So you're not just getting something good, you're doing something good. Come to Mission Fed. It's banking that's good for all.
Brand amplification is the DNA of Cloudcast Media, and our code is the powerful blending of sound, voice, and storytelling to lift local brands and their communities. Whether it is our Brandcast, Schoolcast, or Causecast platforms, the unifying ethos is all about this community, the one you call home. If you dare to dream and want to explore the brand amplification of Cloudcast, a national leader in local podcasting and other Winfluence strategies, please visit us at cloudcast.us.
I'm Drew Schlosberg at Cloudcast Media. You're listening to another edition of Drew Schlosberg Spotlight on the Community Show. We are the nation's longest-running community podcast. We're in our 19th year now. We are brought to you by Mission Fed Credit Union. 6 decades of doing great things for people in San Diego County, whether it's food insecurity, whether it's financial literacy, whether it's arts, everything in between. They do a great job. Honored to have in the studio with us our friends from the SDSU School of Music and Dance, Jessica Humphrey, professor of dance at that school. Julia Elbert, a student, undergrad senior, also studying journalism and media studies, and her colleague Devin Hargrett, undergrad senior, and SDSU dance education student, joined by my co-host, Kristen Vogel. She is the executive director of San Diego Writers, Inc. Kristen?
Yeah, let's talk about the spring dance concert.
Yeah. UDC is actually happening in a week from today. We have our first show on the 15th and our second show on the 16th happening 14th, 15th? Oh, yeah. The dates are wrong. It's all happening on the 14th and 15th at the new theater. Is that what it's called now? The Main Stage Theater.
Cool.
At 7:30.
And that's on campus?
Yes,
Okay.
on campus.
Right, exactly. What's your role?
I'm actually in all 5, or I guess 4 pieces that's happening in the show now. I'm honestly I feel like I'm just a body that I get to be on stage and kind of take what I'm learning and showcase it through my own human body, my own anatomy, my own self.
Right.
And it's a lot of what I have learned over the past 4 years combined with what I'm currently learning from all the professors, all the teachers. And it's kind of morphing together into one big show. And it's really cool to be in all of it because I get to see how all these different moving parts work and make myself do things or have myself do things that are different in your piece, Jess's piece, versus Joe's piece or Leslie's piece, other professors in the program, or even Briseda's piece, who's being showcased extra or at the Arts Alive Discovery Series. Yeah.
So are you on stage by yourself, or are you with a bunch of other dancers?
I'm with anywhere between 7, 8, 10 to 30, 40 people on stage.
Wow.
Yeah.
And okay, so what makes your dance or your routine or your whatever different than those others? Well, one, it's your body. So I guess that has to be different, right?
I would say between all 3 professors and Briseda's piece, we're taking movement that I have generated myself, and we're presenting it to our professors, to our teachers, and they're looking at it and saying, oh, your movement is similar to, say, Devin's. Let's put you guys near each other for this part. Or your movement is completely different. Let's still put you near each other because the contrast is nice. And so it's a lot of my own creativity being not taken, but being used to create something else that's incredibly beautiful.
And Devin, you're in the performance as well, yes?
Correct.
And so is there a style of dance that is showcased? It seems like each of the professors kind of get to do their own thing, but, for non-dance people, what are some things that we can expect to see or get excited about seeing?
Some things that you can expect to see is just difference. I feel like what we do doesn't categorize in just one category of dance or style or one technique necessarily. We encompass everything as a technique because it is a skill that you can always continue building. And so for the show, it is very it's not going to look how traditional commercial dance is going to look like, but it's still going to be very interesting and it's going to get your mind to think. That's something that we do. It's not just, yes, we want to entertain, but we also want your mind to think or how do you relate to it? Or not necessarily putting a story to it, but just how does your body feel and how do you feel watching it and receiving the information that you just received from watching us? Cool.
That's awesome. And then Jessica, in terms of a professor putting things together, do you start thematically? Do you start with the music? Do you start with a part of the body? Where do you start? And I'm sure it's different with every sort of showcase, but where did you kind of start in this process?
Yeah, in this process, I started with shaking. I have this body of work that I've been making for over 10 years now with colleagues, and I'm developing a bit more on my own now called Shaking is the New Plie. And so we started with shaking and then creating phrases, movement phrases, and mixing them with the shaking and then transforming that into round and circular movement. So I don't typically start thematically, but because one of my main techniques is contact improvisation, and the dancers really have to listen to each other's weight and timing and breath, almost always themes of relationship come up for the audience.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So my colleague, Professor Leslie Siders, and I co-taught the dance-making classes for quite a while at SDSU. And one thing she said once that was just so perfect to describe, she said it in response to a dance that I made for trolley dances once, that we are working to make dances where we're expanding the number of possible interpretations rather than narrowing the number of possible interpretations. And so I really love it when people come to see our shows. We have something in the program that relieves them of any pressure to come up with one meaning or to get it. And to really have an experience in their bodies and trust what their response is.
Very cool. Yeah. Since you brought up trolley dances, can you bring up what that is? I think it's just such a an accessible way to. It's just such a cool experience. So can you just tell people what that is?
So there's also a connection here. So the person who started San Diego Dance Theater, which produces trolley dances in San Diego, is George Willis, who started the dance program at SDSU.
Oh, cool.
So there's an old connection there. And trolley dances, they're site-specific dances, and you take the trolley and you go from dance to dance. And I was, there was a adult education center in Barrio Logan where I was able to do a piece, I believe in 2015. I think that was the year. It was an amazing experience. I had a cast of dancers, one in the early 80s all the way down to age 17.
Cool. It's such a cool experience.
Yeah, listen, this is great. So when the audience is watching you, Devin, and you, Julia, and you, Jessica, are you going to be part of this at all? Are you going to be dancing?
I directed this one, so I won't be dancing.
You won't be dancing, okay.
I wish.
Okay. But so I'll start with you on this, Devin, and you can answer to Julia. When you're doing this, are you watching the audience's movement? And are they moving with you? Are some people sitting there watching your vibe and mimicking you?
I think what we do on stage is there's an energy around us as the performers that, yes, we are like noticing what's happening out there, but it's really about us.
Right.
And you just happen to be in our space.
Mm-hmm.
It's really like what we're doing here is this is for us, and we're just letting it be observed by an outside perspective. But in reality, we're watching each other. We're feeling each other. We're like, okay, great. I know my timing goes based off of you. We can now do this together, things like that. So it's much more, yes, we're still watching. We're still like looking. But it's also, we're more looking at ourselves. We're more internal with our small little community that you just happen to be a part of.
Right. Exactly. You feel the same way, Julia?
I actually have a very different experience. I'm like really blind when I take off my glasses. So when I'm on stage and the lights are on, I cannot see you out in the audience. I know you're there, and I know I should be working with the audience and connecting with the audience. But I can't exactly make out what you're doing or what your face looks like or if you're enjoying it or absolutely not enjoying it. But I do definitely fall into almost not an audience role, but a witness role, even when I am on stage, because it's important to bear witness to what you're watching and what you're seeing in front of you, because it's the same thing as you can listen to someone and not hear them. You can see someone but not actually like take in what they're showing you with their bodies. And so falling into that witness role is a really nice place to be, because it means I'm connected and I'm still in the dance, but I'm also like pausing and taking a step back to say, oh, this is really nice to look at. Let me just look at this for a second. It's like a portrait or a painting in the museum.
Yeah. You see, obviously you folks are well trained. Thank you very much, Jessica, and probably on their own skills as well. I'd be so distracted, I'd be watching the audience, and then I'd totally forget what I'm supposed to be doing on stage on this. Yeah, Jessica.
We have a lot of practices around that, actually.
Really?
Yes, we practice this all the time. So Devin's perception of, they're simply witnessing.
Yeah.
Right? So that we don't get stuck with the adrenaline.
Yeah.
Right? So we have practices to deal with that moment of feeling that we're being seen.
Right. We're chatting with our friends from the SDSU School of Music and Dance, Jessica Humphrey, professor of dance, with two of her wonderful undergrad seniors, Julia Elbert, who's also studying journalism and media studies, and Devin Hargrett, a San Diego dance education student, soon to be a teacher. Are you going to stay in San Diego? Are you going to teach here?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
I think that's great. I'm going to start with you on this, Julia, then go over to Devin, and then with Jessica on this. And then Kristen, please weigh in on this. We'll start with you, Julia. Why should somebody be involved with SDSU's dance and music program?
Oh, there's so many reasons.
We got a couple hours.
One of them, I immediately think of this, is every single time I talk about the dance program at SDSU and how I have changed in just the past 3, almost 4 years. I am a completely different person, and I always say it's for the better. I feel like I understand myself more, I understand people more, and I have a very deep understanding, I would say, definitely compared to where I was at 18, 17 years old, a deeper understanding of human connection and relationships and how you can be intimate with somebody and not have it be innately sexual, and the intimacy is still very clear and very, I don't know the word to describe it, but it's just there. And you don't have to ask anything of it. And learning that about myself and about other people and having that with other people, with Devin, it's really nice and it's a really wonderful experience.
That's well stated, Devin.
Yes. For me personally, I feel like people should get involved because it's not necessarily something you can see everywhere. A lot of other schools, it's very competitive. It's very like, I can do this. I've been training for this long. You can't do this. Not necessarily you're underneath me, but it's just the levels are different. And with us, the levels are all the same across the board because we're all learning something completely new and completely different that you can still progress on without necessarily just pointing your feet or getting your leg super high, things like that. So for me, it's really important because I'm not a technically trained dancer. I kind of trained myself necessarily, but being in the program and doing all these different things and the pathways that I've learned can now allow me to get my leg above 90 degrees, or can now allow me to do the things that most other technical dancers train all this time in, almost not necessarily hurting their bodies, but just really like digging and grinding into their bodies. I can now do with a lot more ease, and I can find the ease inside of everything.
No, that's great. Jessica?
Yeah, the body matters. Our bodies matter. And as I'm, in a university setting, in the discussions about what's happening with AI and all the uncertainty and the speed of it, there's a lot of conversation about meaning and how are we going to find meaning, especially if it ends up being something like there's UBI, and then what is there, right? And the arts are huge that way. It's what they do to us when we engage. And I would just love to read a quote.
Please.
If that's okay. Because
Of
I feel like
course
this
it is.
captures a lot.
Absolutely.
Especially because there's a lot going on in the world where people are like, why am I going to go see a dance show? Why would you dance when
Because we need to.
A, B, and C, right? Yeah, because we need to. It's by E.B. White. Every morning I awake torn between a desire to save the world and an inclination to savor it. This makes it hard to plan the day. But if we forget to savor the world, what possible reason do we have for saving it? In a way, the savoring must come first. And I think that's what we get. And especially in the SDSU dance program, when you come to our performances, even if we don't say it verbally, the dances themselves ask you to respond at a place that is below words.
Well, as Susan Clausen knows, because she's been bringing her clients on for me for many, many years. We've been doing this for 19 years. And, maybe she's been doing it for quite a while, whenever she started. She hears me say this all the time, as does Kristen. If Drew ran the world, all K-12 curriculum would be focused on VAPA. You can teach everything through visual performing arts, and sports too, for that matter. History, language arts, science, chemistry, and pick a topic. And heaven forbid we actually include empathy in there, which that one, by the way, the dodo bird. So what you guys are doing is so meaningful, so important, so great for 75 different reasons. Devin's going to take all this learning and just absolutely touch so many students who are then going to touch their friends, their relatives, or whatever. So thank you for doing that. Julia's going to be a brilliant journalist somewhere with focusing on dance, whether she's going to write about dance or whatever the case may be. And Jessica, you're just going to have this infectious smile for the rest of your life, as I'm sure people have told you. Kristen, any final comments? I know I always love to hear your thoughts.
No, I mean, the arts is life-giving, and I'm always very encouraged to hear and see people go down that pathway, because I don't want that to dissipate. So yeah, thanks for the good work you're doing, Jessica, and I'm so excited for both of you that you're studying this. That's amazing.
Could you shout out the date of the dance concert?
Yeah, so the shows are next Friday and Saturday, March 14th and 15th, beginning at 7:30 on the main stage theater at SDSU. And you can just look up University Dance Company, SDSU, and you should be able to get tickets.
Right. So if somebody wants to get into this dance education, this new realm, how do they get a hold of you, Jessica? What's the best way?
You can just look up SDSU Dance Program, and on our degrees page, there's plenty of links for the School of Education, the teaching credential, single subject credential in dance, which is brand new.
Right. No, I think that's great. So Jessica, Julia, and Devin, wishing you guys nothing but wonderful success certainly with the concert and everything in between. We know that we love saying this on our Spotlight show. We can say, we knew you when, and all that business. Thank you for everything you've done. Thanks for coming on, and wishing you nothing but great success in the dance concert and everything after that.
Thank you. Hope to see you there.
Thank you.
Absolutely. I'm Drew Schlosberg, and you've been listening to another edition of Drew Schlosberg's Spotlight on the Community Show. We are the nation's longest-running community podcast. We are in our 19th year, brought to you by the very cool folks at Mission Fed Credit Union. They've been doing great things in San Diego for more than 6 decades. We hope you enjoyed the interview.
You've been listening to an episode of Drew Schlosberg's Spotlight on the Community Show, amplifying the voices of social impact organizations, entrepreneurs, local nonprofits, and other community champions who shape the culture, creativity, and connectivity of San Diego community. Brought to you by Mission Fed Credit Union, bringing good things to San Diego for over 60 years. Learn more about what is good for you and good for all by visiting www.missionfed.com.
Cloudcast Media.